Yeah, my name is George Philippi. I'm the Director of Geospatial here at Control Point Associates.
Hi, I'm William Hayward, and I'm a project manager for the Geospatial team here at Control Point.
My name is Brian Eldridge. I have 22 years of surveying experience.
I've been at Control Point for 12 years now. I was actually hired as a Revit modeler. I never worked with point clouds before, but they saw that I could model and kind of brought me in and threw me into the geospatial world, and I just started modeling from point clouds from day one, really.
I'm a senior geospatial technician. I have about 22 years of survey experience with about 13 with geospatial technology. Kind of specialize with the mobile LiDAR systems. I started as a co-op, right out of college for CAD and survey, kind of a dual role position. And then about 5-6 years, geospatial, with laser scanning came around, and just right from there.
I went to school. I went to a tech school, and I learned some programs, and I did a little bit in high school as well, and I just kind of all snailed from there. So.
I started with CPA back in August of 2017. I really got lucky. Prior to getting into geospatial, I primarily worked in the restaurant and customer service industries. I had a good friend who his wife had been the CAD manager for a company that did 3D laser scanning, and he suggested that they were looking for a 3D scanning technician. So I went and interviewed, and they hired me on the spot. After that, I flew down to Houston and spent the next 3 months training until I led my first project 3 months later, and I've been managing projects and overseeing projects ever since then.
We assist with regular survey projects, whether it's floor deviations, wall deviations, roadway topography.
We specialize in reality capture, and that's taking the existing conditions of the world and turning them into deliverables for architects, contractors, and engineers.
We primarily specialize in taking whatever environment you're working in and bringing that directly to your desktop, so you can save a lot of time with rework or having to go back out to the site for additional measurements or additional information. Obviously saving you lots of time and money in the process. We have a very robust inventory of static scanners between Leica and the Faro scanners. We also instill a lot of mobile devices, from backpack to vehicle mounted LiDAR.
We have a variety of scanners, whether Pegasus 2 for mobile LiDAR, P40s, P50s.
Software-wise, typically, we use Leica software, which is because most of the scanning equipment we have is from Leica, and then we'll utilize Revit to create 3D models for the clients.
Me personally, I use the Pegasus Manager software for all the mobile LiDAR stuff.
LiDAR from UAVs and other softwares and everything utilized to bring all that together. Obviously, it all starts with a really good setup. We work with the clients to ensure that we fully understand the scope of work, and then we utilize that information plus any other information we have on hand to set up the field crews properly, so when they go out there, they fully understand the scope of the scope of work.
So from the field work, we put it all together through the software. A couple people QA QC it.
Well, we have a pretty strenuous QA QC process. There are a lot of eyes on any particular project at one point, so things don't fall through the cracks, and we deliverable high.
We take all that information then and we bring that back. We utilize that for the registration, and then everything goes through a 2-person check process. So typically the PM will check the project first, and then we have a quality control manager who will then go through and just double check everything prior to it going to the client. If it's something that requires a signature from a licensed land surveyor, the PLS will then make sure it's checked again before they put their signature to it. signature to it for final delivery.
Data collection, from my standpoint, like I can go out in the field, scan it, bring it in, register it, do the drafting, deliver it. The manager or project manager will QA and QC it.
We'll go in the field and we'll collect the data. We bring it back into the office and then we process it in the office.
We enhance land surveying for our clients by utilizing the technology when it's proper to use it. There are some jobs where traditional survey is the better way to go. Other times where you want to use the scanning technology to efficiently get through an area for large topo jobs or large parking lots.
So versus traditional surveying, the one key factor is we could scan a whole site, which could take traditional guys, like a building footprint would take weeks maybe, would be a couple days for us. Traditional survey would miss something. We would probably capture it and not have to go back out in the field to get it.
The technology allows us to collect millions of points at any given moment, and which leads to less back and forth between the field and the office. And if there's any extra information that the client wants, we already have it in-house.
It also allows us to collect areas in a much safer manner that would have been difficult in the past. So scanning roadways or getting areas of interest that are out of reach for traditional land surveying. I've had a lot of clients in the past who have expressed concern about geospatial to me because they've tried it in the past, and the people that did the project for them either just gave them raw data with no explanation as to how to use it or how to apply it to their project. By working with those clients and consulting them through the process, I was able to get them more comfortable utilizing the technology and obviously making them a big fan of the technology.
Kind of help with, we do a lot of work with New York office for floor deviations, construction sites, where just like prior, it might be dangerous, and lane closures or even some hard to reach areas for a field guy. We can go and scan it and have it.
For traditional surveying standards, a lot of the times we'll go out there and they'll go out and do a traditional survey on a building, and then for supplemental, we'll go up there and we'll scan the roof, because the roof has a lot of different geometry to it, and it'd be very difficult to capture with just a single rod, traditionally in the field. So usually there'll be some pre-existing survey that's been done out there, and we'll go in there and we'll kind of do some supplemental scans to get some areas that need more detail.
Obviously, since I mainly deal with the mobile LiDAR stuff, I think we're looking at a backpack, unit for a walking unit, walking mobile unit. There's also advancements with the Pegasus software that I'm looking to get into. So.
Really excited about the mobile technology. It's really come a long way over the past few years. And, I'm really excited to see where it's going to go over the next, couple more years with quality and efficiency.
I would say automation excites me the most. Laser scanners are pretty normal right now. Even the mobile scanning is very normal. I think it's more about the automation that comes back in the office, how quickly we can get these 3D environments drafted and into the hands of the clients. I think that's most exciting. That would be investing in the new technology and taking the existing software that's already there and making it work to the best of our ability.
I think just constant learning and going like the trade shows like they just had over in Atlantic City recently. Just constant learning with the new softwares.
It's important for us to stay ahead of the geospatial trends and stay ahead of the technology. To make sure that we're giving our clients the edge that they deserve, to be able to create the efficiencies and quality that our clients demand.
I was just talking about this pretty much over the weekend. Like I was walking around in Philly and I noticed, there was a job I just worked on right here. It's just seeing your work, out in the real world.
I would say for me, being New York Metro local, when I'm out walking about in the city, I'll look up and I'll recognize a ton of buildings that I've worked on, and it's quite cool. And I always point them out to my friends and give them a little story.
The most rewarding part of working here at CPA is getting to work with my clients on a day-to-day basis and to provide them with the best quality and service that we can.
I would embrace whatever new up-and-coming technologies are available to you right now and keep your pulse on it, where it's going, because it's kind of crazy out there right now. It's the Wild West in terms of technology. So if you get your pulse on what's actually happening now and in the future, I think you'd be set up quite well.
Typically what I tell people when they're trying to get into this industry is I express the need to make sure that they learn all the different types of technology that are out there. There's no one-size-fits-all solution for geospatial.
I would say just do a little research. You know, I get asked that actually. My nephew just asked that the other day, how I got started, and I just told him I did a co-op and I learned a couple things, you know, and then it just ballooned out of there 20 years later.
It's extremely important that you learn all the different ways that you can collect data, register the data, and produce a deliverable for your clients.
We have a strenuous QA/QC process, as I said before, and we deliver a highly accurate deliverable. So,
well, probably with our core values, you know, we're very heavy on the QA/QC, just make sure everything's as accurate as possible. There's a lot of stigma with point clouds aren't as accurate as conventional survey, which it's just as accurate.
Yeah, our clients and partners trust us because we take the time to listen to what their needs are, and we make sure that we emphasize that in our contracts and in whatever we produce for the client.